Coming up on the program, after all the anticipation and the long wait since the year 2009, the President of the United States, Mr. Barack Obama, departs for his father's ancestral home of Kenya, and he has arrived. Then, illegal migration remains a challenge, with dozens of people dying on a weekly basis in the Mediterranean. Survivors share tales of those who drowned. And later on in our Africa Tech edition, we take a look at blogging as a tool for promoting business. Broadcasting from Lagos, Nigeria to viewers around the world, this is Network Africa. Hello and welcome to the program on Channels Television. This is Network Africa with me, Cynthia Are. It's 4 p.m. in Nigeria and 6 p.m. in Kenya, which is where our top story is coming from. The U.S. President Barack Obama has departed for Kenya, and this is his first trip to his father's homeland as president, kicking off a tour through Africa that will also include a stop in Ethiopia. President Obama, who is the first African-American president of the United States, is the son of a black father from Kenya and a white mother from Kansas. He traveled to Kenya as a U.S. senator, but has not gone since winning the White House. He's expected to meet with family members while in Nairobi, but he will not be traveling to the village most closely associated with his family name. The trip will focus otherwise on security and economic initiatives as the president shores up his legacy on the African continent. Well, this might sound like an exaggeration, but from the look of things, almost every Kenyan is excited about this historical trip being made by President Obama in the East African country. American flags were hoisted and billboards bearing welcoming messages displayed in Nairobi, and many Kenyans have created a wish list of what they hope President Obama will achieve during his visit.
I'm very sure Obama's visit will make great changes in Kenya. More so in the democratic space of Kenya, I really want to make things work in Kenya and our election count and our vote count in Kenya. Number two, our economy to grow in Kenya and to talk very seriously against tribalism in Kenya.
I think you will talk about corruption, much as corruption has affected us in greater heights. Because if one person can steal about 1.2 billion, if we, for example, we have about 10 people the same, this is a major havoc in our country. So we'd like him to highlight much about corruption, one, and also job opportunities in terms of tribalism.
We are being affected for this work because this is our daily meal. Coming of Obama, it's a gain.
Well, it's not just Kenyans who are talking. The streets of Nairobi are speaking as well, and it's all because of President Barack Obama. The Kenyan capital, Nairobi, has been given a major makeover. In fact, a beautification project dubbed Obamacare by locals is estimated by some to cost around $500,000 US. Roads have been relaid, street lights fixed, billboards erected, and the highway from the airport boasts a new garden. Well, we're joined from the Kenyan capital of Nairobi, which is where most of the action is happening, by the Voice of America's Gabe Joslo. Gabe, thank you very much for your time. Can you really put into words the excitement that's going on right now in Nairobi?
Yeah, we'll put it into one word, which is Obama mania, which is all we're seeing on the TV channels, on the newspapers the last couple of weeks. It's been just wall-to-wall Obama fanfare, Obama coverage. The city, Nairobi itself, is pretty much on lockdown for this historic visit.
Well, what's this? You just said lockdown now. Could you tell us more about the security situation? We're sure it's at its peak.
Oh yeah, this is as you can imagine, a major operation to secure the president during his visit here. So Kenyan police have been redeployed from across the country. We're heard that there's 10,000 on the streets of Nairobi. That's in addition to U.S. Security forces who have also come in for the visit. The president's heavily armored private vehicle, nicknamed the Beast, arrived in Kenya some time ago. It's been spotted on the streets. And there's U.S. aircraft circling around. So it really is, it's taking over the entire city. It's a huge, huge security operation.
Well, Gabe, now if we're going to go back a couple of weeks ago, initially some groups were not really thrilled about President Obama's visit because they were fearing that he might try to impose the issue of accepting homosexuality. My question to you is, what exactly happened that led to the transit of being nervous about what his agenda might be to the excitement that we're seeing now?
I think there was always excitement, but there were some small groups that, small and vocal groups who were concerned that, as you said, President Obama would try to push an agenda of gay rights on Kenya. It's not part of the official agenda. The President Kenyatta in Kenya has said it's not an issue. And President Obama has also stood firm and said that, you know, this is something that that gay rights is something that that he believes in and will defend if it does come up. So basically, that's been the final word on it. And while there were some protests planned, they seem to have fizzled out in the last week or so.
Now, just before I let you go, Gabe, the primary focus of this trip is the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. Could you tell us about preparations for that? Is everything set?
Yeah, the summit is underway. It's bringing together entrepreneurs and investors from around the world, but mostly from Africa. And it's a chance for young business people to show off some of their big startup ideas and possibly to get funding. Kenya's really hoping that some deals will be signed and that actually trade, especially with the U.S., could be increased with some major announcements over the course of the coming days.
Well, Gabe, we'll definitely be in touch with you. Thank you so much for your updates. And thank you for giving us the latest. Hope you've not been affected by the Obama mania.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you. The Voice of America's Gabe Joslo reporting from Nairobi. Now, we also got a chance to speak to Ann Kiguta, who is a news anchor for Citizens TV Kenya. We were asking her questions about the Global Entrepreneurship Summit 2015, which is the main reason why President Barack Obama is in Kenya, Nairobi, and here's what she had to say.
Well, this is the first time the Global Entrepreneurship Summit is taking place in Sub-Saharan Africa the first time in Kenya, and it's bringing about 1,400 people together. A third of them are Kenyan delegates, and their expectations are to meet with large U.S. corporations and other investors from all over the world and really be able to build the networks and the partnerships that they need to take their businesses to the next level. And specifically for Kenya, on the sidelines of this visit, as you know, U.S. President Barack Obama will be jetting into Kenya anytime now. There is the expectation that in bilateral talks, Kenya will be able to secure major investments from the United States, particularly on the
Ann Kiguta, a news anchor reporting for Citizens TV in Kenya.